The 2016-17 provincial budget saw operating funding for school divisions cut by $22 million. What is your plan for restoring education funding to previous levels?
Well, as Premier, I would work to build the world-class education system that students deserve. As a teacher myself, and my wife is currently still a teacher as well, I'm well acquainted with the challenges in today's classrooms. The reality is that the funding by the Sask Party has been insufficient for a long period of time, even during the resource boom. So we need to not just restore the funding from the damaging cuts of late, but we need to make education the priority that it needs to be. Treat it as the foundation to our future, make sure that we support our students and empower our teachers to build the most enriching classrooms possible, with all the supports that students deserve. Right now, our classrooms are under a great strain. We need to provide the supports that students deserve.
Teachers know the importance of inclusive education. This means accommodating students regardless of their physical, emotional, intellectual, or social differences. To be implemented successfully, it requires supports for students and teachers. How will you support inclusive education?
Well, inclusive education is important, but it needs funding and it needs support. Under the decade of underfunding by the Sask Party and the recent cuts, classrooms have really taken a hit. Too often I'm hearing of growing class sizes with classes with well over 30 students, 5 to 10 students with English as an additional language, 5 to 10 students with individualized learning plans, and classes without an educational assistant, for example. This fails all students. So we need to support classrooms to ensure that they have the supports they need. We need to reduce class size, and we need to act in a meaningful way around those other supports. I'm committed to universal mental health and addictions services, for example. Acting on those matters external to the classroom, like safe housing and food security. We need to make things better for all students.
One of the most important relationships in education is the relationship between students and their teachers. Teachers know their students, their families, and their communities. How will you ensure local voices are heard?
Well, as Premier, I would respect and treat educators as the valued partners that they are in education. We've seen a period of time here with the Sask Party where teachers have been disrespected, where their voice has been disregarded, and that's been to the detriment of education in Saskatchewan. We need to empower and entrust in our teachers, treat them as the professionals that they are, give them the autonomy back that they deserve to make decisions in their classrooms in the best interests of their students, stopping this standardization, the top-down approach that we see far too often at this point in time. And of course, a Premier needs to listen to teachers. I'm prepared to be that Premier. And we need to restore voice throughout education as well to our democratically elected school boards. So we need to be scrapping Bill 63 and treating our education partners, our teachers, our school boards as the valued partners that they are.
The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child guarantees access to high-quality public education. What steps will you take to ensure students across our province receive a high-quality education within Saskatchewan's publicly funded public education system?
Saskatchewan has always taken great pride in our high-quality public education system. We have the best teachers in the world. We need to support them, not demoralize them, not disrespect them. We need to empower them. We need to make sure that our classrooms are supported in the ways that they need to be, to make sure that we reduce class size, to make sure that we have the supports like educational assistance in place, to make sure that as well that we're supporting curriculum for today and for tomorrow, ensuring that we have things in place like high-speed internet in every school all across the province to enable students. And it's so critical as well that we have the wraparound supports, the holistic view of education, from mental health supports through to making sure that we are addressing students' needs from food security through to housing. It's important that we develop critically minded, independent, creative thinkers that are going to lead as citizens for tomorrow.
The Canadian Teachers Federation says safe and caring schools are a major priority for the profession at the national level, yet teachers are expressing growing concern about violence in schools. What is your plan for promoting safe and caring schools in our province?
Well, to ensure safe and caring schools, we certainly need to make sure that they're funded and that they have the supports that they need. We need to make sure that we address things like class size, to make sure that our teachers are able to use that powerful relationship that they have with students and with families and with their communities to ensure safe and inclusive schools. We also need to act in a meaningful way around mental health and addictions services in this province to make sure that we have security and that we're responding to needs of students and families when they need that help. Importantly, I'm also proposing a leadership role for teachers all across the province, a team of teachers that would be human rights and anti-oppressive educators to provide support within each school around matters of ensuring that a GSA could be supported, supporting gender and sexually diverse youth, and to play very important leadership roles around treaty education and reconciliation and residential schools. Clearly, we need to do a better job providing funding and support to ensure safe, inclusive schools for all.